Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of September 11th. We're going to get started right now. This episode brought to you by the Comic Book Store, 28 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, 08028. Come buy some comics. They got a lot of comics. See, comics over here, comics over there, comics everywhere. Or buy a shirt. Shirt or comics. One or the other. Also, if you'd like to know more information, all this kind of stuff, you want to kind of stay up to date, we have an email list. It's in the description down below. Sign up. We promise not to spam you. We're only going to do it like 2 or 3 times a month. But it's a thing. Sometimes you might know where Tim's at, might know where I'm at. All these kind of things. Meet us in real life other than the comic book store. Because like Tim meets people at the comic book store. I don't. Because I'm not here on Wednesdays. I usually sleep because I do these videos in the middle of the night. But you can meet Tim. Or you can meet us. Somewhere. Like New York Comic Con. Or Baltimore Comic Con. Those things will help. Description down below.
Hey guys, it's Tim! Hooray! From Capes and Scowls, and I don't know, I do things, I'm around. Just, click your heels a couple times, I show up. That's how that works, right, Paul? Anyways, let's talk about some trades. I've got Crossed, hardcover, volume 1, 10th anniversary edition. I don't know if this is brand new, but it's a newer version of that book, which is crazy, really gross Garth Ennis, like The Boys times 100. We've got Miles Morales with great power. This is one of those condensed trades to get younger readers, I feel, into the character. Has some good issues in it. We've got Batman the Killing Joke Deluxe Edition. I don't know how you can make this any more deluxe, but there it is. We have Umbrella Academy Apocalypse Suite. This almost can kill a man, but not quite. I don't even know what the difference is between this and the other trades. It's probably the other trades all thrown into one. Maybe even the new one. But I don't know. But we're going to say it's there, because I don't care. We got Transmetropolitan Volume 2, the new collection of this, which Warren Ellis at his best. We have Venom, War of the Realms. This is an interesting one, which probably coincides with Absolute Carnage a little bit. Domino Hotshots. This is Gail Simone. Yes. You read some of this, right?
No, you did.
Oh, I loved it. Did I love it?
You actually kind of did.
I think it was fine. Yeah, I like Simone a lot.
You like the first issue a lot.
Good for me.
Which you were surprised because you didn't care about Domino.
That's right. I don't. Correct. Batman Hush has a new edition that it doesn't need. Surprisingly, not Black Label. Interesting.
Also, a dollar comic out today for it, too.
Yes, there is issue 1, which is Batman number 608, I want to guess, which is the first issue of Hush. We have
It's very weird that you actually got that correct. Like, that's impressive.
I know a lot of dumb things, which include numbers. I stare at books all day, Paul. It's all in here. I don't know, like, kids' birthdays and, like, their names, but I know Batman 608 is the start of Hush. We've got Unstoppable Wasp. She's unstoppable. This is volume 2. We have Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. This is volume 11. How awesome is that?
Impressive.
That's very impressive at Marvel. We have Unnatural volume 3. I'm not sure if this is this week or last week. This might have been, not sure. But this is a very interesting book. We've got War of the Realms. So many traits this week. War of the Realms, Spider-Man Daredevil. If you want to see God Daredevil with a sword, you got it here. Batman, Volume 10, just continuing that sweet, sweet Tom King goodies. There it is. This was actually last week or the week before, but I'm going to talk about it because I like it. Spencer and Locke 2. I don't remember if I mentioned this when this came out, but it's great. It's essentially Calvin and Hobbes noir. We have Shuri, Volume 2. And we have, which I enjoyed that. I read a little of that. And then Oblivion Song. Volume 3. Paul's been reviewing Oblivion Song a lot, so I'm sure you know it's fantastic.
First up, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 29. MJ has a new acting gig, and she wants to kind of see Peter before she goes off, and of course you know that's not going to work. Peter gets pulled in a different direction by his sister, Teresa Parker, who has actually not been in Amazing Spider-Man since she was introduced in, what is that, Spectacular Spider-Man?
Sure.
What is the Chip Zdarsky run?
Friendly neighborhood?
No, not Friendly Neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, but Spectacular.
Spectacular Spider-Man. She was introduced in the very first issue, but has not been in this book until this point. So it's kind of neat to see them interact. Finally, putting that character who was supposed to have so much onus in that series, and finally in here. It's got kind of a bombshell at the end. This is definitely a fun read. If you're not reading Amazing Spider-Man, this is definitely one of the most fun comics that I've read in quite some time. Nick Spencer does an amazing job on this.
All right, people, let's talk books. I've got King Thor, #1. Jason Aaron and Esad Ribic. And this is the end of their collaboration as far as Thor is concerned. It's been a really good run. It's been since like 2014 or something they've been working on Thor. Something like that. It's some insane amount of time. And that's at Marvel, so that's like 16 series probably of Thor. Dig.
It's like 25 issue #1.
So many #1s. Actually, if I remember correctly, this is like... No, it's not that many. I think they only had like 3 or 4 #1s, which is impressive.
That is impressive for that.
But yeah, this book follows Thor, who is pretty much Odin at this point, and Loki is coming to murder everybody. He possesses the All Black, which was part of Gore, the God Butcher, and now Loki has it, and Loki is quite psychotic. And this issue is one massive fight scene, and it is graphic. It is violent. I have never seen violence like this between Thor and Loki. There is an interesting subplot where Thor's descendants are trying to find a weapon, and Loki sends a giant black bird after them. It's a whole crazy thing, but I really liked it, and it's an interesting way to cap off their huge run of Thor. So if you loved it, this is more the same. You should love it. If you want to just jump into an interesting miniseries, you got that too. So I recommend it. It's a good read.
Next up, we have Batman, issue number 78. Yeah, 78. Tom King and Clayman, I believe, are some of the best combinations on all the artists that do come through on this book. They're able to do so much with their art style and their writing style to convey a lot without a ton of emotion. This is a fairly quick read because there's you have like 2 or 3 pages of like massive dialogue, but for the most part, you're seeing the reconciliation of Batman and Catwoman, and the way that they convey the relationship in here and how it was broken and how they're trying to fix it really mirrors so well how things happen in the real world. And it's something I think it gets overlooked in most Batman series because it's Batman. But Tom King has done an amazing, I mean, sometimes controversial job of humanizing this character like he's never been before. And I'm going to miss him when he's gone, which is in like a year or so. But it's such an amazing read. You're doing yourself a disservice to not check out this version of what Batman could be. But not my pick of the week, which is pretty tough because I love this book. But definitely pick it up.
All right, next up we have You're the Villain, the Riddler, #1. Truth be told, I love the Riddler. The Riddler is one of my favorite villains ever. And this is him pretty much having a roundtable discussion. This was Mark Russell. Love Mark Russell. So good. Having a roundtable discussion with King Tut. How they can be better villains and how they're so close. And Tut's really the comic relief in this issue where he's like, come on, cheer up, buddy. We'll do a caper together. It'll be fun. And Riddler's like, I don't know. Lex Luthor's out there. He's giving everybody these cool gifts. He didn't give me anything. Why? I feel like I'm a big enough villain to get these powers, these gifts from Lex Luthor, which, you know, they've hinted at in other books. You don't really need to know that to follow this. But Luthor pretty much shows up and taunts the Riddler and says, you're a fool and you could easily be what you want to be, but you're holding on to a child's ideal. You're like a carny in a way, and you need to give that up. And I don't want to... It's very dialogue heavy. It does have some Batman action that's pretty entertaining in it. But it's definitely a different kind of Riddler story, and I recommend you read it. I believe it's just a one-shot, and the Riddler is going to continue on in other books. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I don't mind being wrong, Paul. But this book was a lot of fun. And Scott Godlewski, that's it. I always forget his first name. Really cool art, really fun designs on the traps for King Tut. So, yeah, check it out.
Next up, we have Powers of X issue number... Why can I not remember issues? It's issue number 4 of 6. This is a good one. This is an interesting one. There's not a ton that happens. We're still seeing a lot of the framework of what happens in the 100-year time frame being kind of laid out in the 1 year and the 10 year, or the 10 year before and present X-Men series. We're finding Cypher and how the X-Men have learned to communicate with Krakoa. It's still just a fun read. Like I said, not a ton happens in this one. It's kind of a setup book to see what's going on for the last 2 issues of this and next issue, and especially from the bombshells that happen in the last House of X. But it is still definitely worth the read, and I'm excited to see what this one goes. Check it out.
Paul, it's time for my pick of the week, Paul. You know what it is, Paul?
I got an idea.
You got an idea?
Pretty good idea.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to pick it unless it was really good, because I can't just always pick Moon Knight. I mean, I could. But, I really could. But Moon Knight Annual 1, written by Cullen Bunn. We all love Cullen Bunn. You love Cullen Bunn?
He does alright.
Do you love Cullen Bunn?
He's alright.
Jeez. Ibrahim Mustafa and Matt Horak did the art. Mike Spicer did your coloring. This one is an interesting story because it's part of Acts of Vengeance, or Acts of Evil, I'm sorry. Acts of Vengeance was a while ago. And it is heroes fighting villains that are not their normal villains, and Moon Knight is way out of his depth fighting Kang the Conqueror. So I really question leading up how this could possibly go. Essentially, what you have happen is Khonshu, in a timeline, it comes in contact with Kang and stops him from stealing 3 ancient artifacts. Which these artifacts have been referenced throughout Moon Knight a million times, and it's kind of cool that they brought them in. But he does stop him initially from getting them. Because Khonshu was there in that moment, he cannot be erased from time, but Kang does screw with time something fierce. But Khonshu is able to have an avatar go after Kang through different parts of time. So you see different Moon Knights from different time periods, and it is really a treat to see some of the time periods they picked and how the character designs worked. And it is Mark Spector doing this great, crazy time thing, trying to fix time for everybody. I just really liked it. I really loved it. I needed some Moon Knight in my life. He hasn't had a story he had a series a little bit ago, but it's been a minute, and I need it. I need it, damn it. So I was very happy with this. Thank you, Cullen Bunn. And give me more, damn it. I don't want to wait for the TV show. Give me something in between, Marvel. Let's do it.
What can my pick of the week be? It is Pandemica, issue number 1 from IDW. This is such a really interesting book. It's a conspiratorial. It's tough to kind of pin down. So basically, what you have is these outbreaks of these seemingly innocuous viruses that are already known to hit certain ethnic groups and certain types of people. But then as more and more of these happen, you start to see a pattern develop where it is not just a terrible freak accident from Mother Nature, but it's very much devised. And one person finds this out and develops a team to combat this issue. Does it get fixed? If you look by the front of the cover, maybe not. But wow, it was such a fun read. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I want to read issue number 2 so badly. And reading a comic that I've never read before, or not really familiar with Jonathan Mayberry to this point, I was really surprised at how well this book was written and how well I was pulled into the story, and I love it. I can't wait to see more. Even though the art is not necessarily the style that I'm used to or liking particularly, I kind of liken it to Lazarus as a style I'm not a big fan of, but the writing is so good that I accept the art for what it is. Not to say the art is bad in any way. It's just not my style that I like. But within the framework of this writing style, it is perfectly done. And this is definitely one to pick up. You should check it out.
All right, it's the end of the video. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If any of you will be at Colossicon, that's where Caramello Cosplay will be from the team. You can see her, tell her I sent you, and she'll look at you confused. She'll say that's a little weird. Also, by the time this goes up, hopefully, I will have my newest interview up. I interviewed Randall Lobb, director of the Crystal Calls, the documentary that Netflix has up to coincide with the new Dark Crystal show. And he was great. He was awesome to talk to, so that'll be something new. If it's not up, if you're like, Tim said this would be up, and it's clearly not, I got tired or drunk. It'll be up soon, maybe like Thursday. Who cares? What, I'm honest. I know what I am.
It's like I got tired or drunk. It was just...
It could be both.
I know it could be both. You could get drunk.
I have fallen asleep with it in my hand, just like, oh, life is so hard.
But did you spill it?
No.
See, that's
I'm
important.
not a monster.
I know. Well, look, man. You're old enough to know not to do party fouls like that. You don't waste
These
alcohol.
sad one-man parties.
sad one-man parties.
I'm the coolest kid in the school, and like just... Yeah, no, never. But anyways, yeah, Colossicon, you can see Carmelo there. And just be like, hey, Tim said that you're awesome, and I should come bother you a lot. She'll like that.
I don't think she'll like
She's
that.
going to love it.
I'm not sure she'll like that.
She really loves hugs.
She definitely does not like hugs. Don't do that.
She loves pounds. You could pound.
Yeah, you can fist pound.
Fist pound. Specifically fist pound.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it. We're done, Paul.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
I don't want to talk no more.
All right.
Bye, everybody.